So it was like being on psychedelics without being on psychedelics first to start with. But the vibration tapped me into my nervous system and gave me a passcode to my cells, and I was able to feel into where I was holding on to past wounds. So some of my past wounds were from my grandmother, like intergenerational trauma in my stomach, and I could feel where that was stored. And then it was a process of tapping into that and then letting go of that. And the vibration of the sound somehow allowed me to tap into that and just let go of that. And then there was a childhood wounding in there, inner childhood wounding, where it was like, I've always blamed my father, like it's his fault. And then towards the end, there was a different vibrational sound where what was happening to me was like, it's not his fault. And so one of the hardest things I've had to deal with is to be able to forgive my father. So it was starting to enable that process. It's really hard to describe in words because so much happened in such a short space of time, and I would like more on there. Pretty revolutionary in terms of it gave me access to parts of my body that I didn't have access to before, and I was able to rewire them. Another thing that happened was I had a visual of certain cells being malignant or red, and then the vibration and the charging system was like charging them up so they were blue. So they were now like charged, and it was like kind of a feeling of being those cells changing energy from like a defected cell to a cell that could hold and maintain charge and could charge up. And I was sort of like actively doing that in the process, where it was like, okay, all those cells are charging up, like it was like that type of a feeling, like these cells were holding charge. I also felt like there were like cells that were somewhat cancerous in my body, and then I was going through and being like, okay, let go of all the toxic stuff, and then change the mechanic of that, or turn that around. So for me personally, it was one of the deepest healings in a short space of time, and it felt more safe than anything I've tried.